Hi everybody, it's Paul Harris with Blackhawk Recruiters here in sunny California. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. As you may know, I run an executive search firm. We specialize in the telecom infrastructure space and kind of everything that spins in that orbit. And one of the things that's spinning in that orbit in a big way is the smart home, connected home market. And so the next very few minutes, I'm going to try to do my best to kind of give you kind of an update on what's going on in that space. So why do we care about that? Number one is because we're always looking for ways that we can add value to our clients who have critical and urgent hiring needs. Why should you care about it? One is because there's a whole truckload of money that's going to be spent in that market over the next many years. So it's growing at a CAGR of 35%. And they're estimating by 2023 it's going to be a $54 billion industry. So that's why you may want to pay attention. So what's driving it? Number one is kind of the standard of living, right? We're all getting a little more spoiled. For those of you who are my age, you can remember actually having to get off the couch and actually turn the TV channel, etc. So things like that are going on. More modern conveniences are kind of growing exponentially, and it's kind of marrying that with the new technology, IoT, right? Everything's got to be connected, and then you add to that the demographics of the aging population that is concerned about safety and security, right? When you're 25 years old, you think if somebody breaks into my house, I'll knock them out. You get a little bit older and you think, well, maybe I can't knock them out any longer. I have to get a security system. So let's talk about, and also what else is driving it is just kind of the need for parents to feel safe with their, for their kids' sake, so to speak. So you guys, let me talk about the 6 different buckets or categories of the smart home, connected home market. So number one, we just talked about it, right? It's the largest market share is security and access control. So this is, security cameras, smart locks on your doors and your windows, and being able to look at your smartphone and say, hey, somebody just rang my doorbell. Who is it? And what are you doing on my front porch? So that's number one. Number two is, I would call it just energy saving. So this is the HVAC world, right? So your heating and your heating and your air conditioning, things that kind of learn your living habits. When do you get up in the morning? When do you leave for work? When do you come home? When do you go to bed? And kind of adjusting things accordingly and automatically to help save energy and money. Next one is the smart kitchen. So this is basically, your fridge saying, hey, idiot, you're running out of milk, you better get some. Number 4 is lighting control. So indoor and outdoor lighting, once again, going off automatically when no one's home, etc., saving money and energy. Next one is entertainment control. So obviously your TV, CD, movies, streaming, etc., but also stuff that can crazy stuff like reading bedtime stories to your kids, waking up to music, having parents set parameters in terms of how long one of their kids can be on social media or doing gaming, etc. The last one you guys have kind of saved for last because it is a huge one, and that is the home healthcare space. So this is the old telehealth, M-health type of conversation. Being able to stay at home and, take a picture of hey, doc, what's this on my hand? And they say, oh, let's get some antibiotics or some cream or something like that. You don't have to go in the office. So other stuff that's huge in this world. So health status monitoring, right? So this can be stuff as crazy as, not to get too graphic, but let's talk about, a monitor in your toilet bowl that, measures, if you have any, blood in your urine or something like that, and it sends off an alarm and it sends a message to your doctor, and then you go kind of get alerted to it. Other stuff in this world, nutritional and diet monitoring, memory aids, and a big one, you guys, is fall prevention. Help, I fall and I can't get up type of things, right? And all this is done, not all of it, but a lot of it is done with a design towards, quote, aging in place, right? We talked about the aging population, and it used to be, hey, grandma, well, man, we have to monitor you 24/7 because you're getting old. You're going to have to move out and go into a home where they're going to have someone monitor you. Well, this is having your home, your connected home, your smart home is monitoring you, helps you to be aging in place. You don't have to leave your home, and more freedom, etc. So, other things real quickly. So Google has a vision of, every home would be have an always listening microphone, speaker, camera, and screen. I don't know if it's in every room, but that's the vision. A house where you can communicate through speakers, right? If you got a McMansion and all these different rooms, and you just be able to communicate via speakers in the home. Speaking of speakers, let me give you a statistic. So the annual smart home speaker sales for this year, 2018, is supposed to hit $56 million. So that's a truckload, and that's a race between Google, Amazon, Apple to get these virtual assistants, or so to speak, in every home. So you guys, there's things that that you've heard the term unintended consequences, or just we'll call it intended consequences on this one. There's so many things that are spinning in this world that we can see coming, and seeing things that we can't see coming. It's so exciting. But one of them, just that you have heard of, I'm sure, was just lower insurance rates, home insurance rates. If you have a security camera, if you have a smoke detector, if you have a carbon monoxide alarm, does it make sense that your insurance company would lower your rate next to your neighbor that doesn't have those things? Absolutely. You've heard the expression, there's an app for that. Tons of different apps and services that will integrate with a smartphone. Like, I love it when my wife and I, we go away for a weekend and we come home and I get on my phone and say, hey, I'm 2 hours from home, so turn up the heat or turn on the air conditioning or whatever. Love that kind of stuff. So you guys, there's so much going on, with decreasing energy costs, which is good for your pocketbook, good for the planet. So many things spinning in that orbit, you guys. So anyways, that's a kind of a big picture on the smart home, connected home market. There's many different trade shows that you can go to, like the one that was last week here in the San Francisco Bay Area called the Smart Home Summit. And then there's, another one called Connected Home Summit, and that's coming like in September, I think, next year in London. And then Smart Home Summit is coming back into San Francisco Bay Area in November of next year. But there's many more, you guys. It's a really growing space, and I wanted to kind of just get in that world if you were not quite ramped up on it. So that's it, you guys. Next time I go to a trade show, I'll give a download when I come back. Hopefully this has been helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.